We begin in Miami, where the Heat look to go 7-0 without Dwayne Wade this year against a Bucks team led by Brandon Jennings. He had 36 in New York on Friday. LeBron James always ready to go, and here is LeBron. I heard a tweet, get him to the line after a furious flush.
Michael knows better than that. He should back off a little bit. LeBron gets to the baseline, gets Dwayne Wade up out of his seat, along with a lot of the Miami faithful.
It was a tech fest for the Miami Heat. Mike Miller picks one up here from the bench, and then Joel Anthony's going to get called for the foul. He didn't like it, and he got teched.
Yeah, I think even assistant coach Ron Rothstein picks one up as well, and he hasn't gotten one since he coached the Soul in the WNBA.
I love it. That was at least a couple years ago, right? Ursan Ilyasova puts it in. He had 16 points off the bench.
Nice effort for him off the bench. The Bucks getting some guys, getting some bodies back and getting healthy, and there's one of them, Andrew Bogut, on the inside with a big finish.
He had 13 points, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks. Milwaukee led by 3. We go to the third quarter. Mario Chalmers, are you kidding me?
Wow, Circus is in town early in Miami. Mario Chalmers gets the contact and somehow finds it into the hole.
They don't have to leave the American Airlines Arena like the Bulls have to leave the United Center, thankfully. You see Steven Jackson playing some defense over there, and Chris Bosh with the turnovers. 8th of the game, he did have 23 points. Brandon Jennings, 4-3, he had 23.
Still feeling pretty good, I guess, after that New York game where he had 36 points, still on fire.
Sean Livingston, the sweet no-look pass to Ilyasova. Milwaukee leading 85-80. And then a chance for the Heat to cut into the lead. LeBron James with a pretty good look, but it rims off on him.
Just don't see that too much from LeBron. Usually he's finishing those plays off on the break. And look at his offensive rebound by the smallest man on the court, Brandon Jennings, the reverse layup. Skiles loving that.
Milwaukee was up 7, and then a flagrant foul right here. Mario Chalmers on Brandon Jennings.
Now you got to make a play on the ball. Obviously, this is all body with Chalmers. Some frustrations for Miami after some great wins against San Antonio, the Lakers, and Philly. Losing to the Milwaukee Bucks at home. Not a good taste in the mouth of the Heat players.
91-82, the final. The Bucks moved to 6-9. So after losing their first 8 road games this year, they've now won 2 straight on the road. Jennings, 59 points in his last 2 games. And Steven Jackson back in the lineup, but he came off the bench in this game. He had 10 points in 26 minutes. The Heat dropped to 11-5 overall. They're now 6-1 without Dwayne Wade this year. And the Miami bench was outscored by the Milwaukee bench 39-11. 22 turnovers for the Miami Heat, and here is Coach Spoelstra on that topic.
It was a physical game, and they were up and into us and got us a little bit out of our comfort zone. And some of those turnovers were forced, and some of them were, sloppy on our part, either, creating leads to get open or getting them off us, and some errant passes.
So 8 turnovers by Bosh, 6 turnovers by Mario Chalmers, 3 by LeBron James. You add it up, it was just a mistake-filled, weird game for the Miami Heat, and they took the L.
Well, 22 points for the Milwaukee Bucks off of the Miami Heat turnovers. We know, Rick, that this team, the Bucks, struggle to score the basketball. So if you're going to gift them possessions, they're going to find ways, and they have good enough players that they're going to put the ball in the hole, and that was detrimental to the Heat tonight in their game in Miami.
Would you like to get out the telestrator and talk about some of these turnover plays by Miami?
Sure, we can talk about some of these plays as Spoelstra was talking about. Some of it was sloppy, but some of these things they absolutely can control. When they have the ball down on the block, there's time where you got to be patient, but you got to know that if you have Bosh and LeBron James playing in the basketball game, those are going to be points of emphasis for any team that's playing against the Miami Heat, and they're going to focus on things. So let's take a look at one play in particular here. We saw it in the highlights already. LeBron James looking inside to Bosh in the post where they feel like they have an advantage. And you can see all the Milwaukee Bucks players are in tune with what's going on with Bosh in the post. You see Jackson taking a look, Brandon Jennings leaning that way towards the block, even Sean Livingston on the backside taking a look to see what's going on. Chris Bosh starts to go into his move, and right there is really where he's keying the defense to come on down. Steven Jackson sees the back of Chris Bosh. As soon as you see the back of that player's uniform and he's making his move back to his strong hand, it's attack mode. Steven Jackson, great job here, getting his left hand here on a dig, gets quick hands, knocks the ball away from Chris Bosh. Ball ends up being batted around a little bit, ends up off of his foot. You can see the Bucks players all reacting. Look at the guys. Jennings pumping his fist. Mbah a Moute excited about the play. Steven Jackson and him, they exchange a high five. And probably the best part about that whole play is that Milwaukee knows they've had an opportunity to not only take away the confidence of Bosch, they can go down and score, and they make that man happy, Scott Skiles, who's clapping on the sideline. So great job by Milwaukee tonight to just be active defensively and disrupt a lot of the offensive rhythm that the Heat have been able to establish in the past couple games.